Guys, welcome back. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this distance formula activity that my students did, well, not today, but they did it prior. So now you can pick any point. I just so happened to pick these points here because I wanted them to be able to be on the x-axis. Um, and I didn't necessarily want them to be on the y-axis, but I wanted them to know that they could use that as a point of reference. Now, feel free, when I did this with my honors, I just moved my triangle into into a negative quadrant where I had a point here, and a point here, so that they got used to finding the distance in various locations. So they created their own grid. I told them to use centimeters for each tick mark. And over here, they folded the papers um, and they made this into thirds. So if you notice, we talked about finding the position from A to B. So that's A to B. Then we talked about what it looks like from B to C. That's B to C. And then I told them that you can't just do that for the rest of them. So you actually had to find the points. Notice something. I am very detailed in the way that I teach. They have to write out their points because what happens is then they can get confused about what they're actually looking for. So this is another way that I combat little minor mistakes that students tend to make. And then they have to write out the formula, plug it in, bring down the square root. At this point, I let them use a calculator. Why? Because when I bring them down here, I explain the same concept to them, and I tell them that they have to get the same answer both times. So I let them use a calculator for both of these. And so after that, we also talk about where our midpoints were and what is a midpoint. And so they were like, oh, if I know the distance is 8, then my midpoint must be 4. So I'm like, no, your distance must be 4, right? The distance of the midpoint is going to be 4. So be careful of that and make sure to have that dialogue with them. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and also notice I have them write it out. This is non-negotiable. They have to write these out. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on my next one.